Today I'm going to make a few more enemies, I think. Among the men, mainly, because I will prove that they will be sort of useless in 250 years from now. Now, many women might say they are useless already, but still we have to sort of cope with them or use them or whatever your perspective on that is. But in 250 years it will be completely different. So before I explain why men will be completely useless, at least to women, in 250 years from now, let us take a look at what are men good for at the moment. They try to fill certain roles in the life of women. Now, number one, there's the father. And fathers should be the second most wonderful person next to the mother to a young woman, or to a child, to a girl, so to speak. Sometimes they are, sometimes they are not. And being the second most wonderful person doesn't mean they are perfect or even close to perfect. But fortunately, the brain of humans is made in a way that we even accept mediocre or almost bad people as parents and still love them. Thank you very much, evolution, for that. Role number one, the father. No spoiler alert, the human father will be replaced mostly by a lovable, humanoid, robotic male as a father, being the boyfriend, husband, whatever they want to call it in the future, of the human mother. So role number two in my list, at least, is the boyfriend or lover or husband. Now, show me the woman who is happy with her spouse, with her boyfriend. I am. Okay, when did you meet? Last week. So in the middle of courtship, hormones flush the complete person. You are not in your mind, not in your right mind at least, so you don't count. Because for these few days or weeks or maybe months of happiness, okay, fine. There might be no superior competition in the robotic world, but there is competition nevertheless, because robots are as courteous, as sweet, as lovable, as cute, as irresistible, minimum, as the best of the human man you fancy at the moment. But in the long run, in the long run, no woman wants to be with this guy. Wants to be. She does, but she doesn't want to be. Because he is not the person she would like him to be. Never. No man is like the woman he's with wants him to be. She has tried everything to change him in vain. But then she thought, okay, it's maybe the method that I have to adjust. She tried to change him again in vain. Very often, she doesn't divorce the man, she doesn't kick him out, she doesn't just say goodbye, don't call again. Why? Because she doesn't have an alternative. Okay, Peter is bad, but Paul would be worse. Or Peter is bad, but who could replace him? Do I know anybody? No. Do I meet anybody? No. And they all are, I mean, men are men. So, that sounds depressing, yes. It is, but fact of life. So evolution was not able to do something about that because it's not necessary to proliferate. So that was role number what? Role number two, the lover, the husband, the spouse. Future robots will listen, will share your interest, dear lady, will worship you, not only during courtship, but all the time. And when we talk about sex, no human male will be superior in bed. But when it comes to yes or no decisions, you change your mind, but he doesn't. Definitely you will have problems like every other human woman has problems with human males. Nothing new. Again, evolution had no reason to find a solution for that. Evolution's idea is not to make anybody happy. Evolution's idea is have children. No matter what. And when you look straight into the animal kingdom, which we are a little part of, there is much less understanding for the emotional needs of other animal individuals. So we are sort of lucky, but still it's not good enough. And still, most important for my subject here, there's no competition to irresistible, lovable humanoid robots that will fill the roles of our partners that we always dream of. Real people, or have dreamt of for the complete history of mankind. Real people to fill, but But in vain, we waited for it. Role number 3, the man who supports the family, the breadwinner. Yeah, that's typical for the very traditional family. So man has a job, makes the money, gets the food on the table. Woman and 12 children are sort of maybe not happy, but at least not hungry. So this has changed with industrialization. This has changed in open Western societies. And especially one point has changed. The man who puts the bread on the table doesn't automatically have the say at that table. This man isn't the boss. He isn't the owner of the slave kids and the slave wife. Doesn't exist anymore, shouldn't exist anymore. At least no woman loves to be in this position. Dependent on a man, the breadwinner, who then has his ideas, what she, the slave or the not really partner, let's face it, has to do. Her duties, household, children, all this stuff that women don't like to do anyway. Oh, but I don't like to go to Tesco, the woman might say. Or Walmart, to be the cashier, earn almost nothing, have to work 3 jobs to feed me and my 2 kids. And so, thank you very much for you, Paul, being a doctor and making a lot more bread per hour than I could ever do. But this will change so much in 250 years. Because every woman will have her unconditional basic income, allowing her to finance a middle class or upper middle class lifestyle, if we are comparing it to present standards, from this monthly, let's call it welfare check, financed by the hyperproductivity driven by innovation and development of everything. Oh, wait a minute. I don't need him to pay for my expenses. I can pay for my expenses myself. Why do I need a husband then? For protection. Because role number, I think now 4, yeah? The protector. Oh, my Huggy Bear, the big guy, pumping iron all the time. My cute little Arnold Schwarzenegger. He protects me from the wolves that don't attack me anyway. But from, I don't know, street gangs. Wait a minute. We really need a guy? I mean, like, your partner to do that? There's no police, there's no? Okay, let's say you live in a rather unsafe environment and let's say you enjoy, for some not realistic reasons even, just emotional reasons, you just enjoy this protectiveness that this guy who is your partner, his boyfriend, your spouse, is sort of emanating. In 250 years from now, your robot will be able to do that twice as good and constantly. So, protector, no, forget about the protector, lovable humanoid robots, and a world where every robot, not only yours, but all public robots and all robots of your neighbors and friends, all robots of people you have never met in your life, all of them take care of you. Why? Because what their senses see and hear and maybe smell even will be the data based on which the humanistic AI finds out, wait a minute, isn't there just some aggressive situation boiling up and up? Pretty much looks like that. Because AI is, of course, able to identify aggression or the first indicators of aggression. And what will AI do then, being humanistic AI, in favor of peace and happiness of everybody? It will interfere. Not forcefully, because still there's time to talk to the guy who freaks out. And who is doing that? 911 call the robot police? No. Every robot over there is connected to the humanistic AI, like we are all connected to Google today. I mean, it's nothing so completely principally new as many people might think. And then the AI would just tell the closest robots, do the world a favor and make yourself understood. And just say, excuse me, can I help here? Just like a decent citizen nowadays would. De-escalate. Avoid violence to come to fruition. Just help. The real protector is not needed anymore because we will live in a completely peaceful environment in 250 years, which every lovable human robot being part of keeping the happiness and keeping the peace, driven by an omnipresent, omniscient humanistic AI. And then the second protective quality, which is more an irrational, emotional, sort of, it feels so good. He is 15 centimeters taller than me, the cute little lady. And I feel so safe in his arms, just like I felt so safe in the arms of my cute, loving robotic father when I was, not that little, but little. This emotional quality will be provided by lovable humanoid robots much better than by a loving, and lovable of course, human male today. Role number 5. Oh, it's so wonderful to share experiences with my man. So we went to our honeymoon and we shared the most wonderful Maldive Islands sunset and the diving and the sushi food and the service. It was like, it was so great. Let's say for some reason you are in the privileged position that you have a honeymoon every 3 months with the same person, and still there's this excitement and you share. Fine. But how often does that happen? Even with people who have the money or would have the money, unfortunately rare. Whereas with your lovable humanoid robot, it's up to you. You can create any amount and any kind of experiences together up to your liking. Because UBI, unconditional basic income, is able to finance this middle class, upper middle class lifestyle. Okay, you can't have a private jet, but whatever today you would love to do and sometimes are a little short of cash will not change in the future, except to the better. In 250 years from now, I'm talking about that, not about 20 years from now, which will be awful. You will be able to share experiences with your irresistibly lovable humanoid robot, much more so than with the nicest man you have ever met or have ever had the chance to meet today or in the future. So, excuse me, what do we need men for then? Here comes number 6. He's such a great buddy. We share the same interests. He loves to go to the department store with me to select shoes and the matching handbags. And what do you think about this blouse and about that? He loves the same romance movies that I love. And he reads the same books that I love to read. And he just shares all my interests. Oh, wait a minute. This guy doesn't exist, right? No. It doesn't exist. This is the dream. Now you wake up and then he says, I want to go to the match. My car, my drinking buddies. Oh, look at these big breasts. Of course, he tries to hide that he's interested in other women. His at least theoretical interest in other women, which is so annoying. Because who's the greatest woman in the world? Who? You? No, it's you. You are the greatest woman in the world. Does he appreciate that? No. He did. In the beginning, courtship, but how about today? No. Today, he dreams of other women, which is part of his natural, evolution-defined program in his genes, in his DNA. He has to stare at every woman who has the looks of, yes, make me pregnant, or you can make me pregnant. How can I put it more scientifically? Every woman who looks by her physical features to be the perfect person at this perfect moment to take the baton of the man's genes and make sure that the man's genes will be given to a next generation. Each of these women, it's not only one, it's an unlimited number every day if you let your man out of the house instead of chaining him to the radiator. He, the human man, will just say, yes. I want to meet her. I want to court her. I want to make sure that she will help me. No, not help me. Not help me. My genes. Help me to hand over my genes to another generation. By getting pregnant, by having sex. Because that is what evolution is about, friends. I'm very sorry, not my invention. But that's how it works. So this is why you will see, you, dear lady, that your beloved human male will always be looking at other women. That's his interest. And that is nothing that is sort of even close to what you want him to do. A lot of the time he is just, with his friends. And that a lot of his time he wants to spend with his male friends because they share male interests, which you don't share. You tried, I know you tried, but it didn't work, did it? Male interests are of very limited interest to women, usually, as are female interests to the males. Fact of life. All of us have experienced that. Ideology has tried to make us believe, oh, this is only due to education. And if children would grow up without being determined by the parents and by society to follow a certain gender behavior, there would be no difference in interests between boys and girls, even during and after puberty. Shall we forget about this right now? I suggest. If you don't want, then you know what? I can't help you. It is so ideology-driven, so yesterday-ish. No, please look at what science has told us about this. Look at the animal kingdom. Look at apes especially, and you will see, there are certain shared interests, shared behavioral patterns, shared this and shared that. But there is a majority of gender-defined differences in interests and behavior. Period. Do I want this? No, but am I God? Have I done this? Am I Mr. Evolution? No. This has developed and it is there. Whether we like it or not, we have to live with it. And I agree, we, in our societal concepts, humanism, have to try to find rules and regulations to tame the unfairness that might be triggered by evolution, by DNA, by genes. That is a big task, a big goal. And that is something that we humans have tried for quite a bit of time. But you know what? Only for a few hundreds of years. Before, let's say, the Age of Enlightenment, let's say before Renaissance, what we consider the ideal society today is the product of several schools of thought that are not older than 250, 300 years, let's face it. We have to still struggle to transform our society into something that matches the humanistic ideals that we all share, or at least should share. We have come quite far, shouldn't be too disappointed, but we shouldn't be too proud. The end of the way will be in sort of like 250 years from now, when all our shortcomings as humans, genetically tempted to act egoistically, antisocial at times, will be surrounded by lovable humanoid robots who help us to be civilized 24/7. In that era, in the age of lovable humanoid robots and humanistic AI, the role of the man in the life and the world of female humans will be almost non-existent. So men, sorry, I'm also a man, as you might have realized, are of no need anymore. But don't cry, because we will also have our robots, our female robots, if we are heterosexuals. And these female robots, fortunately, will be as pleasing, as wonderful for us as the male irresistible robots will be for the human ladies. So, no harm done. Only there will be a separation of the sexes. The lives of the genders in 250 years from now will separate more and more. We will see two different cultures with a little overlap here and there. Yes, why not? And without any restraints. There's no need for having human men to fill these roles in 250 years from now. Okay, guys, that was a lot of free content, you have to admit. And I have to admit, it could have been more precise and concise and shorter, which, fortunately, I can offer you in form of a book, ebook or paperback, Bo Lessing, The Age of Lovable Humanoid Robots and Humanistic AI, available on Amazon.com. There you will find all my hypotheses, theories. Okay, call it theories. Wrong term, but sorry, academia. And on 242 pages, all the other relevant subjects that came to my mind regarding the future world in 250 years from now, will be covered. Buy the book and return to my channel, please. Goodbye.